Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm back. I came back last week, middle of the ways through, but I'm back again. Usually, there's a three parter here, three people, and we're at 66.67% here. I'm not very good at Steiner math, but I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host Gage Bertovich. Our other co-host Gordon Chatterton is out on assignment, but don't worry, he has given his input because we're going to pick a March Madness bracket here after a while, and we're all going to collectively agree on these teams to advance, and we're going to fill out our bracket that way. Gage Bertovich, I see you are wearing a Team USA jersey. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. We got the USA rocking. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we got skeins on the back. I
Like it?
can't tell
Like
if
it?
it's on camera or not, but it's
It
fine.
is.
Awesome. We love that. We love that. Took a loss last night, but it's okay. Great game, 3-2. You talked about March Madness. We're going to get into that. That's going to be awesome. And the most important day of the year, we're just 2 days past it. National 316 Day for all those that celebrate came back
What?
on Monday and just celebrating the rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What? Yeah. One of the best days of the year, Austin 316 Day. Really disappointed he didn't show up the other night on Netflix, but hey, that's neither here nor there. But
Uh,
so you mentioned it just a little bit ago. We got a few topics here we're gonna hit because it's off season and not a lot going on really. Baseball hasn't started yet. UFL starts in 1 week. Next week. We're going to be doing a little UFL preview on this joint, but we do have a little World Baseball Classic, as you alluded to. Not the result that we wanted, as Team Venezuela defeated the United States of America 3-2 to win the World Baseball Classic in what I believe was actually a classic game right here. Really good game from start to finish. I thought the World Baseball Classic was fantastic. The whole tournament was from the quarterfinals on, especially. I thought they were great. Great watching baseball in March and it meaning something other than spring training. Last night, we'll touch on it here in a minute. The Dominican Republic the other day, the United States beat them in a controversial call. They called a third strike at the end of the game with the guy looking there, and USA won that game. A little controversial fashion. They had the tying run at third base and struck the guy out to end the game to advance to the finals. Gage, what were your thoughts on that game before we head into the championship?
it was a game that you expect both of these teams to just light it up on the scoreboard wise. We got power of the Dominican Republic versus the power of the US. Great pitching match and great just game in general, as you alluded to. One run game that came down to the very last pitch to where it might have been a little bit low, but it's also maybe a get back for Junior Caminero trying to run in the way of a throw by Will Smith down to Bryce Harper on a drop third strike. That wasn't called interference or anything like that. They still got him out, but it's fine. And then the game last night, what a game. Now, if you're Mark DeRosa, you saw how Nolan McLean did for you in the first start of the WBC. Why are you throwing him out there to start the championship game?
No idea. I really don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking there. Mark DeRosa made some questionable moves here. I don't know if he's the right manager for the job for the
No.
USA, but he didn't pitch good last night either. But I don't know. I don't know what else you do at that point in time. Who else would you have had to start in his place? Paul Skeens was not available.
Yeah, I'm sure you could have found somebody. I'm sure there was somebody in the USA that would have been like, I'll start the championship game because you can't trust the Mets, especially their pitchers. They're not used to big situations like this. So you can't trust them to do well.
Yeah, they've never seen the championship in what 10 years or whatever it's been, so they don't know what it is. And even then, they weren't playing for the Mets then when they did make the World Series back against the Royals back in the day. But yeah, just a little bit questionable there for him. But Venezuela, my guy, I of course I'm for the USA, proud to be an American and all that stuff. But my guy, Eugenio Suarez knocks in the winning run for Venezuela. Let's just hope he carries that into the season. That's all I'm going to say. Do it for my team once, not against my team.
Well, and the pitching staff for Venezuela last night, they limited the USA to 3 hits in total. Bryce Harper got two of them. One of them was a 2-run homer. And then
Absolutely.
It was big, huge. And then Bryce Terang with the other hit. Everyone else took the over. Bobby Witt over 3. Aaron Judge over 4, who never shows up in big moments.
Struck
Schwarber
out.
over 3. So
Yep.
it's like all these guys that you expect the firepower to come from, non-existent last night. Shout out and hats off to the Venezuela pitching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron Judge, as you mentioned, didn't do anything in the big moments. Bryce Harper just hits a 2-run home run to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th, and then Aaron Judge comes up there, and you're like, "Man, he could give us a lead right here." And the guy strikes out. And it's like, okay, he's
Yeah.
not clutch. He's not clutch at all. So,
And if you want to talk about Mark DeRosa making some questionable decisions, you go to Garrett Whitlock in the bottom of the ninth, or sorry, top of the ninth, to try to get the outs you need, keep it tied, send it to the bottom half of the inning, and Garrett Whitlock gives up the RBI double to Eugenio Suarez. When you have a guy that would have possibly been used, and he only throws 103 miles an hour and has some devastating breaking balls, and that's Mason Miller. Why go to Whitlock and not Miller in a situation like that?
Miller was pretty nasty in that game against the Dominican Republic. I mean, he was even fooling the umpires, of course, as you
Yeah.
can tell there. I also thought Griffin Jacks played a pretty good game, the 2 appearances that he had in the semis and the championship game. But, to go with Whitlock there, man, I don't know. And then the starting pitcher, you go with McLean there, and it's just not good for the USA. But, I mean, 3-2, they had a chance to win it. They didn't. Congrats to Venezuela, their first ever World Baseball Classic win. So good on them, I guess. We'll have to get them again in 3 years or whatever it is. Yeah.
And if you asked, oh, who would you have thrown out there to start if it wasn't McLean? Garrett Whitlock is a starter, I believe. I could be wrong, but he sounds like a starter. I'm just looking 7-3 record, 2.25 ERA. Those feel like starter numbers. I also could be 100% wrong, but at that point, just do a bullpen game. You have a great bullpen.
Yeah.
Your bullpen is better than Nolan McLean.
Yeah, I don't see why you would. You do it in the regular season if it come down to that. So why not do it in the World Baseball Classic? I don't
Yeah.
think anybody's calling Mark DeRosa anytime soon to say, "Hey, you want to manage our club?" I wouldn't.
No, no, but I'm sure he'll get the call in 3 years. Hey, you want to manage Team USA again?
No, at that point, like Albert Pujols is the manager of the Dominican Republic. Gail Cabrera is the manager of Venezuela. Just get a former player out here. Get a great American like Joey Votto out. Oh, wait a second. No, but and get a player out there that actually was. I mean, you got 2 greats there coaching these other 2 teams, managing these other 2 teams. Martin Rosa wasn't a great when he played. He wasn't even a good at most point in time. So maybe go out and get a great to coach him to manage him the next go around. I don't.
And Francisco Cervelli, manager for Team Italy, former catcher for the Bucks, and I think for the Yankees and elsewhere. But yeah, why not have a player who was good in his time? I'm not saying Cervelli is one, but the other 2 are potential Hall of Famers, and just lead the way. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but that's our baseball for this part of the segment because we still got spring training, and to be honest with you, I haven't really paid much attention to spring training going on because of the World Baseball Classic. I know that we've got baseball opening day starts next Thursday.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you see who I got behind me here. The man of the off season, the man of the season, depending on where he starts out, Mr. Connor Griffin. Personally, I don't think he'll start on the big league level, especially if you have the lockout that we're supposed to get next year. If they bring him up too early, they lose a year of team control because of that. I want him to come up, but I'm afraid that Pittsburgh will do what they always do. They'll hold out on us, and then he'll go and bat 280, 290 down in AAA. He'll hit 20 homers, steal 20 bases, and then everyone will be like, "Why isn't he up here? Why isn't he up here? Why isn't he up here?" And then, September will come, the rosters will expand, he'll get the call up, and then bat 100 with 20 strikeouts. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't give him much time to develop to major league pitching. And oh, by the way, we don't have baseball next year, so he still can't continue to develop in real lifetime.
Man, hopefully they got baseball next year. Let's not talk that into existence. But Connor Griffin was the talk of like the first week of spring training. I remember we had a topic of him on here. He hit 2 home
Yep.
runs and was like, "This guy's a phenom." And he's kind of tailed off a little bit after that. But he's a young guy. He's still 19 years old. He's got all the potential in the world. Developing, pretty good. I mean, the Pirates aren't bad at developing players. It's just keeping them around once it's time for them to sign a big contract. Reds got the same issue, so I know what you're going through there. Yeah, baseball coming in hot and heavy starting next week. Can't wait.
And it's not even like the Pirates aren't that good at developing people. I can't think of many players, especially like on the current roster, who they had from the time that they drafted them to the time right now in the majors that are just phenomenal. Paul Skeens obviously is the outlier here, but what else you got?
McCutcheon.
McCutcheon's not even on the team. He's bounced
Well,
around for 20 years.
I was thinking before he was there for a while. Brian Reynolds,
I'm thinking like current team. And like Brian Reynolds wasn't even drafted by Pittsburgh. He was acquired in a trade with the Giants, I believe it was, where they sent Andrew McCutcheon out to San Francisco in that trade. Henry Davis, another former number one overall draft pick, has absolutely just been awful in his time in the majors. I believe he was 0 for 17 in spring training before like yesterday or the day before where he finally got his first hit. I know catching, you're not expecting a guy to hit great, but I'm expecting the guy to hit at least over 210. I would love that.
Too bad you don't have a Tyler Stevenson on your teams. All I'm saying.
Yeah, I wish I had a Shea Langelier or an Alejandro Kirk.
JT Realmuto.
They had a chance to sign him in free agency, and nope, we're gonna let him go back home.
Yeah, the Reds had a chance too, twice. Nothing. But let's get back into a little NFL. There was a pretty big move here that happened this past week.
Yeah.
Engaged that. That is the Bengals signed Josh Johnson, free agent quarterback, who spent last season at Washington. The third time's the charm. Him as the Bengals quarterback. Jake Browning goes to Tampa Bay. The Bengals bring in Josh Johnson for a third time. 39 years old, still in the league. Gage, what do you think about the big signing this past week?
It's crazy to think he's only 39. He's been in the league since 2009. Like, good grief. He's awful. We all know it. He has started, I'm just counting here, 11 games through 10 seasons. He also played in the XFL a little bit back in 2019 and 2020. The San Diego Fleet, the Los Angeles Wildcats. And I don't think he even did good there. So the fact that this guy was able to come back in 2021 up until now and still have a starting job, or not a starting job, but a backup job, unless stuff happens. Yeah, yeah,
He did start an NFC championship game just a little bit ago, or played in one for the 49ers a couple of years ago.
yeah. And remind me, how'd that go?
Not good. Niners did not go to the Super Bowl that year.
So he actually has some meaningful playoff experience that he brings to the Bengals. Yeah, well, I think you guys found yourself a starting quarterback.
No, we did not. We found a quarterback. Out of all of them out there, he was one of them.
You don't want a guy who's 2-9 as a starter with 14 passing touchdowns and 18 interceptions and a completion percentage under 59.
I mean, Duke Tobin said we're all in. And we're all in right there with that signing. It's obvious. It is obvious to me right there. We're all in.
All in. Definitely, you know what? Don't fire anybody.
Yeah, do not fire Zach and Duke. Just don't do it. Don't do it. He's making deals out here, trying to win in the playoffs. Is all they're doing. Speaking of,
I forgot we had that banner there.
Speaking of another big deal here. Oh wait, never mind. It's not a big deal. Former Bengals. We're on the Bengals topic here. Logan Wilson retires. Now, a lot of people last year when the Bengals benched Logan Wilson were like, why are you benching Logan Wilson? He's pretty good. No, he was not good last year. Why? The Bengals benched him. He was horrible. And his replacements weren't that good either, but they're rookies. They had a little bit more time. He goes to the Cowboys, and he's horrible with the Cowboys, too. Guy's only played like 6 seasons in the NFL. I think he's 29 years old from Boise State. Had a couple of really good years for the Bengals. Played good in that Super Bowl year. Also got a holding call against him on Cooper Kupp in that Super Bowl, which was bogus, but neither here nor there. I'm not sour about it at all. But Logan Wilson retires. That's probably one of my biggest memories of Logan Wilson. So, yeah, best of luck to him.
It's crazy when you look at his, like, stats and the first half of his career and the second half of his career.
Big drop off.
I mean, interception numbers, 2020, his rookie year, 2. 21, he had 4. 22, he had 1. 23, he had 4 more, and then just fell off after that. I don't know if he was hurt in 2024 or not, but he only played 11 games, and then it was just a downfall from there for him.
Yeah, he got benched and everything. And there's another Bengal. I didn't even put this down as a banner here, but another Bengal that also got benched halfway through the season on that defense. Cornerback Cam Taylor Britt. Cut that. Cam Taylor Britt signs with the Colts. No surprise there. Gordon, I remember, was talking on the podcast. He's like, I'll take him in Green Bay. And I'm like, you don't want him in Green Bay. He would be your fourth best cornerback over there in Green Bay. He had a good couple of his first couple of years weren't bad. He was aggressive. He hit hard. And then he fell off the last couple of years. And that's why he's benched. And that's why he's going to the Indianapolis to reunite with Lou and Rumo. We'll see how that goes out for him. But another Bengal that's gone, after just a few years in the league.
And something that's crazy too, like, I think we said this during the season last year, but to get benched on that Bengals defense, you must be bad. You must just be playing absolutely horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that defense was not good whatsoever, not even close to being good.
No.
So the little theme we're on here, big deals that's going on. Andy Dalton, where this ties into the Bengals, traded to the Eagles for a 2027 seventh round pick. Gage, we think about the Red Rifle heading up to Philly.
I saw this come over today while I was working, and I messaged one of my coworkers who's an Eagles fan, and I just said Andy Dalton to Philly for a 2027 round pick, and he said, "Gage, it's not April Fool's yet. Stop lying to me." I think Philly found themselves a new starter, right? You got a big red rocket going to Philly. Nah, he's gonna be the backup, obviously. But I asked him, I was like, who would you rather have as a backup? Andy Dalton, who has great experience and has actually played pretty good coming in as a backup, besides for this past year, or Tanner McKee, who has no experience.
I would take the Red Rifle right there. Last season, when he took over for Bryce Young, not last season, but 2024, when he took over for Bryce Young, he was playing pretty good ball until the
Yep.
car wreck happened, and then they let Bryce Young back in and play.
Yeah.
But he was on a roll at that point in time. So I mean, he's got the experience. He knows how to win, just not in the
Mhm.
playoffs. But he can win. He's proven to win regular season games. So I would take him as a backup. I would take him right now as a backup for Cincinnati.
And you know who else got traded that we completely forgot to put on as a banner? Gonna be the guy who's probably the Chiefs' starting quarterback for maybe the first couple weeks, and that's good old Justin Fields.
We forget that.
Uh,
Justin
what
Fields traded to the Chiefs.
for a 2027 round pick, and to facilitate the trade, the Jets are paying $7 million. Fields is $10 million in 2026, guaranteed money.
And
Kansas City pays the rest, but he has a chance at being the starter the first couple weeks if Mahomes isn't fully recovered from his injury.
yeah, he could be. Also, I had seen all offseason their fake NFL things on like Instagram and Twitter and all this.
Yeah.
And it says the Chiefs and the Jets are going to make a trade for a quarterback. Well, they kept saying, Mahomes to the Jets. They were half right. It was a trade between the two teams, just the wrong quarterback. I think that's pretty good. I think that's Fields would be a pretty good backup in this league. He's
Mhm.
not a starter, obviously. He's out of New York now. He's going to be with Andy Reid. I think he'll actually fare pretty well with Mahomes being out for the first. If it's only just a few weeks, look what he did in Pittsburgh last year when he stepped in and started. He started out pretty good.
He went 5-1.
Now, when Russell Wilson came back, for some reason they went to him, and Fields hasn't been the same since. But he did go to the Jets, so that may be part of the issue too.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers didn't succeed with the Jets, and he's a future Hall of Famer, 4-time MVP. Justin Fields certainly is not going to be successful with the Jets.
And all right, so we just talked about Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. Well, I guess we'll talk about the big trade now. We teased it a while ago, the big deals that was happening. Josh Johnson. this isn't really a deal, but T.Y. Hilton retire, or T.Y. Hilton retire, either way. Did you even know he was still in the league? Did you know who he
I
played with last?
No, I thought he was retired.
I thought so too. I had
When
no
is the
idea.
last What's the last time he played? 2022, he played with Dallas.
See, I don't even remember that at all.
I, vaguely remember it. I didn't think he actually got any playing time, but he had 7 catches for 121 yards, 17.3 average. Why did they not use him more?
Sounds like a CD Lamb game, actually, right there.
Yeah,
So
that's Alec Pierce, numbers right there.
his would have been more like 3 for 121.
7 for 300.
All right, it's time to get down to the real news here, Gage. I've been holding it off for a long time. It's time to get into it. Kenny Pickett joins the Panthers now. Andy Dalton gets shipped away. Kenny Pickett now heads to Carolina as the backup. Will he push Bryce Young to be the starter there? And what do you think about your former Pitt guy getting another chance with what is this, 5th team now?
5th
Team?
team 5th team in 5 years. I really think that if they wanted a backup quarterback, they should have just stuck with the Red Rifle. He's a better backup option than Kenny Pickett. If Kenny has to, step in for a game, he might do okay, but any more than a game and a half, you're gonna lose it. Bryce Young, you better stay healthy, and let's keep the car crashes away from these Carolina quarterbacks.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Kenny Pickett, 5th team in 5 years. Career backup. That's what he is. All right, time to get serious. Hollywood Brown signs with the Philly Eagles. H, what do you think about Hollywood Brown going to Philly?
Well, this just means
Replacing
the end.
AJ Brown, right?
That's what I was gonna say. This just means the end of AJ Brown in Philly, right?
It's got to be Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want
I mean,
Hollywood as your number one receiver or two potentially behind Smith?
yeah, I mean, AJ Brown's just gonna get shipped off to a team. My guess, he's gonna go off to a team like, oh, I don't know, the Tennessee Titans or something like that.
Been there, done
Um,
that.
yeah,
He's going to join his
but
former coach in New England now to replace Diggs.
that would be kind of funny. That would be. I think you would see another Patriots Super Bowl run if that was the case.
Tennessee
Uh,
fans would lose their mind if AJ Brown goes and joins Mike Vrabel in New England.
they would, but you know what? It'd be a sight to see.
But
Yeah,
they're already trying to steal Pittsburgh's logo. Sorry.
yeah, okay. Wow, wow. All right. No, Hollywood Brown joined in the Eagles. The Eagles lost their number 3 from last year, Jahan Dotson, as he goes and signs elsewhere in free agency. It's a good signing. I like Hollywood Brown. He's your deep ball threat guy. You know he's got speed. In 1 year, I believe it was $6.5 million. So it's kind of like hey, you're a rental player basically for a season.
If he can stay healthy
Mhm.
and they like you said, deep ball threat right there. If you do happen to get AJ Brown back and Devonta Smith, that could be a dangerous little signing there for Philly right there. I like that if they can, if they can bring back the pieces. Because I mean, that's a deep threat right there, and he usually makes some big plays. I hated when he played in Baltimore because of that deep threat ability.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes for him. All right, now it's time to stop screwing around here, guys. Guys, me and you are guys. I mean, Gordon, you're out there somewhere. How you doing? But let's get to the big deal of the day of the week. Colts signed former Notre Dame basketball player Carson Tout at tight end. Gage, this guy has not played any football, comes from the world of basketball to play tight end. Now, before we sit here and bash this move by the Colts, let me remind you, Tony Gonzalez, former basketball player, Antonio Gates, also played basketball. Those two turned out to be two of the greatest tight ends to ever play football. Do you think Carson Tout is going to go down that route? Tout going down that route. Or Tote? I don't know what his name is.
Well, let's think about this. Okay. His college numbers. We have 28.3 minutes played on average, 3.9 field goals on average. Oh, wait, these are basketball numbers. Oops. This guy has never played, no football experience, none whatsoever. Didn't play in elementary school, didn't play in junior high, didn't play middle school, didn't play football in college, and then his college basketball teams.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell me how long he's been in college, Gage.
Well, let's see. In the 2020, did not play, transfer. 2020 to 2021, Northern Arizona. 2021 to 2022, Northern Arizona. 2022 to 2023, Northern Arizona. 2023 to 2024 did not play, injury slash redshirt. 2024 to 2025 Northern Arizona, and 2025 to 2026 Notre Dame.
Wait a minute, that's 7 years.
That wait a second here.
Was he a, did he go to be a doctor?
He might have his doctorate. We might be calling him Dr. Tout.
Wait, hold up. He's got to get his master's. That's what he went for, wasn't it?
I
No?
mean, I like that. The honorable tout.
Honorable tout. All rise. Man, 7 years in college playing basketball.
Playing basketball.
Now signs to be a tight end. What is Indianapolis doing?
He will be 25 years old before the season starts. Just to put that into perspective, that's older than me by 3 years. I don't understand this. Oh, and those tight ends that you were saying, they played basketball in college. You know who else did? The legend himself, Mo Alley Cox.
Where does he play at now? Who's he play for?
I think he also re-signed with Indianapolis.
That's interesting there, and they've got something for these tight ends. And you know what, Mo Alley Cox, not really that great of a tight end. I would say that what's the guy's Tyler Warren is their number one target at tight end now.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Gordon-
he was there as well.
Gordon will be going nuts right now knowing that we're talking about Mo Alley Cox on this podcast.
And don't you dare disrespect the legend of Mo Alley Cox, all right? He has 16 career touchdowns. Now, that career may span over 8 seasons, but he has 16 career touchdowns. He also has 1,550 receiving yards across 125 games.
Look, all I'm going to say is this guy's 25 years old. To put that in perspective, Jamar Chase is 26 years old. Just turned 26 years old and has been playing. This is going to be his 5th, 6th season into the league. So that kind of puts it in perspective. This guy's just now coming out of college.
I mean,
basketball.
what's the issue with that? I don't see it. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster was only 21 when he entered the league. Like, geez.
Enough Juju talk. So let's get to the big deal here, actually, of the week, and that is Jaylen Waddle traded to the Broncos for a 1st-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick. I also think the Dolphins also sent a 6th-round pick to the Broncos for that trade. Obviously, a huge deal right here in the NFL. The Miami Dolphins fire sale is going on. They have, I think Shefty put it out here. They have $175 million of dead cap space next season. Wow. And people was asking about Achane, and they're like, nope, he is not for sale.
Yeah. Now, I know when we were going through free agency signings last week, we were talking about Malik Willis and how this probably isn't going to be a good thing. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But he might do well. He had a receiver to at least throw the ball to. Now it's likely not going to go well because you're giving the guy nothing. Malik Washington, I think, is the number 1 receiver. They signed Tutu Atwell. Big deal.
You are talking about setting a guy up for failure right here. You signed him to the deal. He has potential. You give him some weapons that may help out. Now you're bringing him in here, and he's kind of a lame duck quarterback back there.
Mm-hmm.
You got him, and you got Achane, or how does he pronounce it now? I think he said something else now. Anyways,
I know that. Yeah, that was ETN.
ETN. A10, I think it's. But anyways, Achane. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But you bring this guy in, you sign him, you hope that he'll come in and do something for your team, give him a spark, new quarterback back there, fresh start. You trade all his weapons away. You're setting him up for failure.
And I don't know if I could think of, at least in recent time, a worse wide receiver room on a team for a season.
It's really bad.
I mean, I think the Saints at one point, they had a pretty bad one without Michael Thomas and without Chris Olave. But this might even be worse.
Yeah, I think it is worse. I can't even think of anybody else that plays there right now. Is Braxton Berrios still there?
No, I believe he's Houston.
Anyway, you talk about a team next year who has got the potential to be the first pick in the 2027 NFL draft. The Miami Dolphins select Arch Manning. You know, I mean, it's the way it's looking right now. It's bad. Them and the Jets. The AFC East has been a 2-team race for a little while. It's definitely going to be that way next year. These 2 teams are going to be fighting for who's getting the number 1 pick. It's awful.
Yeah. And you want to, here's the receivers. You ready for this? Malik Washington, already said him. Tutu Atwell, already said him. Jalen Tolbert, that's a name for you. How about Theo Weiss Jr.?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, you want to know about guys you have no idea? AJ Henning.
Is that Kurt Henning's son?
Maybe. Never know. Is he Mr. Perfect Jr.?
Maybe might be his grandson at this point in time. I don't know.
We also got Terrence Marshall Jr., I believe a former Raven, if I remember
Uh,
correct.
Former LSU Tiger with Joe Burrow.
And then the last one listed, Taj Washington.
What a room. And do they still have Storm Duck?
Well, let's see here. If so, that might be their only chance as a cornerback for the Miami Dolphins. So he's still there.
So they're actually trying on defense here, but not on offensive side, as we could tell, with Storm Duck.
I'm actually very upset. Storm Duck is listed as the fourth string left corner. And it's like, okay, you can't tell me he's worse than Juju Brents, Darrell Baker Jr., Ethan Bonner, Jason Marshall Jr., Alex Austin, or Marco Wilson.
I thought we were waiting on next week to do our XFL preview or UFL preview.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's my bad. Oh, wait, they also got AJ Green the third.
Did you say AJ Green?
The third. Yep.
Well, I'm glad to see the former Bengals wide receiver's son has a landing spot in Miami as a cornerback. It's awesome.
What if they're not? Like, he also played with the Rams last season. He had one total tackle all of last season.
I bet it was a special teams tackle.
Probably. He's 27. When the heck did he come into the league?
So he's definitely not the AJ Green I know, son.
He came in as an undrafted corner to the Cleveland Browns in 2020. That explains a lot right there. Played from 20 to 23 with Cleveland. Did not play at all in 24, and then played last year with Miami and the Rams.
So apparently, yeah, I never heard of the guy.
He has 2 career interceptions, if that helps.
That's something for the team. Something to build on for Miami for next season. Best of luck to him. Now, we hit a lot of key moves there in the offseason, signings, trades. The biggest one here definitely was Waddle. I put Jaden Waddle. Of course, it's Jaylen Waddle. So, yeah, once again, the guy that puts up the graphics, whatever. But we got a little bit of other news here. The Browns propose rule allowing teams to trade draft picks 5 years into the future. Gage, your team Pittsburgh is kind of in on this too, I believe.
They kind of are, kind of aren't. It's like I don't really know what their stance is.
Yeah, so what do you think about this? My thinking is this ain't the NBA. I mean, the NBA, they trade like players from like 2040 picks already to get like Ben Simmons and a bag of chips or whatever. I don't like trading picks away that far in advance. I mean, come on, lose track of your picks at that point in time, right? I mean, that's a little too far in advance for my taste.
Well, my question is what quarterback are the Browns trying to trade for that they need first round picks 5 years into the future and then sign them to some lucrative contract?
Who's going to want to take first round picks 5 years into the future?
Well, if it's coming from the Browns, you're always going to have top 10 picks.
Very fair point right there. Who has gotten in trouble lately at the quarterback position that the Browns could give a record deal to and not regret it, or maybe regret it?
Oh, they'll definitely regret it. Could do it for not really much trouble, but Kyler Murray, maybe JJ McCarthy, or hear me out. Now, this is like a long played one, and he doesn't even play quarterback. But Justin Tucker goes and signs with a team. It's not Cleveland. And then Cleveland's like, we need a kicker. Andre Schmidt has torn his ACL. He's out for the year. So Tucker's out there. What do we got in draft stock? Yeah, all right. We'll give you first round picks from 2028 and 2029 for Justin Tucker.
That's what I thought you said. I thought you said Justin Tucker. Perfect fit for that Browns team right there if they did go out and get Justin Tucker. And yeah, I'm sure they would give up first round picks for him. It's like, hey, it's the greatest kicker of all time. We want to get in on it. That guy's 40 now, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
Man, but yeah, so I don't know about picks that far into the future. But I do know we've got some picks coming up here, Gage. And we're a football show here and a baseball show. We don't really talk much basketball. We did talk about Bam Adebayo and his 83 points last week, but that's
an outlier.
It is March Madness. So we are going to fill out a bracket here on this podcast. I've got Gordo's picks. I've got the bracket right here. We're all going to agree on our picks here, and we're going to pick a champion as a podcast together. Gage, how How you feel? How confident are you in us picking a good Final Four at least?
So I've never been confident in my ability to pick March Madness, frankly, because I don't watch basketball, let alone college basketball. And it feels like every year I do this, I always have Gonzaga winning it for some reason. But I changed it up a little bit this year. We don't have Gonzaga winning it. Now, they do go pretty far in my picks, but don't have Gonzaga winning it. They may make it to the finals. I'm not too sure, but I'm not very confident, at least in my ability. I don't know about you. I don't know about Gordo. It's not for me.
I usually do decent on the brackets until I pick Kentucky to go all the way, and I'm like, "Stupid! They were not good this year. What do you? Why do you keep picking them? Like, stop picking Kentucky." But other than that, I do fairly decent. I think did a bracket challenge here last year, and you know, your guy may have won, but it's with the wife and the kids, so I can't really brag a whole lot there. But here we are. So let's just get into it, Gage. Let's start out with the East Regional Bracket and the number one seed, Duke, facing number 16, Siena. I've got Duke winning this one. I'm hoping
I've
you pick the same. Gordon also
yeah,
has Duke.
I've also picked Duke. It would have been funny if I was just like underdog pick already. Sienna, 16 taken out one.
Then we got Ohio State and TCU. I think TCU wins this game. Gordon obviously has Ohio State because he's an Ohio State fan. I don't know which way you're going here, Gage, but whichever way you go, we'll pick.
I went with TCU as well. The 9 over the 8.
Sorry, Gordo, but your Buckeyes, we think, are going to get bounced early. The St. John's Johnnies and the Northern Iowa Panthers, I think it is. The 5-12 matchup, there's usually an upset here. St. John's has former Kentucky coach Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino is a great head coach. I think St. John's kind of got slighted here being the 5 seed. I've got the Johnnies going on to the sweet round of 32.
I've also got the Johnnies taken out Northern Iowa. No upset quite yet.
Gordon had Northern Iowa there. He said he wants to see the Panthers growl. The next matchup we've got the number 4 Kansas Jayhawks and the number 13 Cal Baptist. Now, I think that Kansas is probably going to win this game. I know you've got to watch out for those Baptists. They can be feisty. Gage, who you thinking here?
I'm also going with Kansas here. If the Baptists pull out a victory, will God, I don't know. I'll do something stupid on the podcast.
Gordon had the Baptist winning. He said because it would be the Lord's will for him to win, but he's got California Baptist. We've outvoted him here with the Kansas Jayhawks. The next matchup we've got number 6 Louisville Cardinals and the number 11 South Florida Bulls. Me personally, I hate Louisville. I think this is a perfect spot here for an upset. I actually think Louisville has their best player out tomorrow in the first round. I think the South Florida Bulls pull off the 11-6 upset. Gage, what do you got?
I've also got South Florida going on the upset.
Gordon also says in solidarity with me, he's going against Louisville, as he's called them Loserville. He's also got the Bulls going on. The 3-14 matchup in the East, Michigan State and North Dakota State. I'm not even sure what they are. The Bison, or is that just North Dakota?
No idea.
Trey Lance did not go there. I think he went to just regular North Dakota. Maybe he went to North Dakota State. I really can't remember. Doesn't matter. I got Sparty in this one. Who do you got, Gage?
Yeah, I cannot take the upset here. Give me Michigan State.
Gordon also has Michigan State as a Big Ten team. So the next matchup we've got UCLA and UCF, the battle of abbreviations. This one here I think could be a good game. UCF, Central Florida, pretty good team here out of the Big 12, but I think UCLA actually gets the win.
I've actually taken this as my first upset, really, the 10 over the 7. I'm going to go UCF.
And Gordo also picks UCF because Michael Jordan's son went there. Alrighty, so there we go. The next matchup, we've got number 2 UConn and Furman Merman. Number 15 Furman Merman. UConn, I think, is one of the best teams in the tournament here. I think they can win it all. You can't win it all unless you don't win your first one. I've got UConn advancing.
Yeah, I've also got UConn. Don't even know where Furman's at.
Gordon also has UConn because he thinks they can win it all. The next matchup we've got, we go to the South region. The Florida Gators will face either Prairie View or Lehigh, which that game may be final right now. Have no idea. But I've got the Gators in this one, obviously.
Yeah, give me the Gators. They're not gonna lose right away.
Gordo also has the Gators. Next matchup, 8-9 matchup, the Clemson Tigers and the Iowa Hawkeyes in the most boring game of the tournament. I'll probably go with Clemson because whatever. What do you think, Gage?
I've taken the Hawkeyes in this one.
Gordo also has the Hawkeyes because they're a Big Ten team, just like his Buckeyes. Buckeyes and Hawkeyes. The next matchup we've got number 5 Vanderbilt and number 12 McNeese Nuts. Cut that. I'm gonna go with Vandy here because of SEC. Vandy just beat Florida, blew them out in the SEC tournaments. I've got Vandy advancing.
I've also got Vandy advancing.
And Gordo, he had McNeese as a 12-5 because he loves
Crazy.
the name. Number 4, Nebraska faces a guy named Troy in the first round matchup. I'm going to go Nebraska. They've never won an NCAA tournament game. I think they finally get their first win in the tournament here. Plus, when one guy named Troy is facing a team, I've got to pick the team with the 5 guys. Gage, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nebraska just for the same reason. I'm not too sure what Troy's last name is, but unless it's Jordan, I highly doubt that he's gonna pull off the victory.
Yeah, Gordo also has Nebraska because of Big Ten reasons. Next matchup we've got number 6 North Carolina, number 11 VCU. This one here could be a little tricky. North Carolina is without their best player Caleb Wilson.
Mhm.
VCU's a tough, scrappy little team, but I think that the Tar Heels will pull out the first round win here. What do you think, Gage?
Yeah, I've also got UNC winning this one.
Yeah, Gordo had VCU because he thought it was, some different initials here, but we won't talk about them on the podcast here. But yeah, I think he just kind of got confused there. So we're going with Team Unk to go on to the next matchup. The next matchup we have the number 3 Illinois Fighting Illini and the number 14 Penn Quakers. I think number 3 Illinois is going to win this one here. They're number 3. Penn's probably, if we were having an ACT matchup here or an SAT matchup, I would probably go Penn, Ivy League and all that junk. But give me the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, I definitely think the Quakers are just gonna be quaking in their shoes the entire time. Give me Illinois.
Gordo also Illinois because Big Ten. The next matchup we've got number 7 St. Mary's going to play some buckyball against the Texas A&M Aggies. Texas A&M, the 10 seed out of the SEC. I actually think that they'll pull off a win here. Actually, I like how they play that full court press, speed you up. They're not really that great, but if you haven't never seen that type of ball, it's difficult to play. Give me the A&M Aggies.
I've actually went with St. Mary's on this one just because I know very little about both teams and they're the higher seed.
Gordon also has St. Mary's because of the same reason he had Cal Baptist earlier. We won't go back to that one. Number 2, Houston Cougars, and the number 15, Idaho Vandals. Give me Houston in this one. I think they've got a potential to make a Final Four run. And once again, you can't go to the Final Four if you don't win your first one. Give me the Cougs.
Yep. Roll Cougs. Let's go Houston.
Roll Cougs. And we head over to the West. Go West, young man. The number 1 seed, Arizona Wildcats, and the LIU Long Island Sharks. I've got Arizona winning this one, of course. Arizona is a juggernaut.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the biggest blowout of the first round. Give me Arizona.
Gordo also has Arizona advancing, although he does really like the Sharks. I don't know if he's talking about the animal or the team, but that's just what he put down here. But we've got the Wildcats advancing here on the podcast. The next matchup, another Wildcat team, the Villanova Wildcats and the Utah State Aggies. Utah State Aggies. Gage, I'm going to go with Utah State here in a small little bit of an upset because I just don't know nothing about either one of these teams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is another one that's like I pick the same team every year. I'm going to go Villanova in this one.
We're actually going to roll with Utah State here because Gordon picks Utah State because Jordan Love went to Utah State.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yep, that's it. Number 5, Wisconsin. Number 12, High Point. I would like to see High Point win this game. I would think this could be an upset here, but I'm going to go Badgers.
Yeah, I actually got people that I'm enemies with that go to High Point, so give me Wisconsin in this one.
Gordon's also going Wisconsin because Big Ten. The next matchup, number 4, Arkansas, and number 13, Hawaii. John Calipari, former Kentucky coach, is the head coach of Arkansas. I would love to see an upset here, but Darius Acuff is one of the best players in the country. Give me Arkansas to advance.
Yeah, Hawaii has punctuation in their state name. Give me Arkansas for that reason.
Gordo said he does not want to get laid right now, so he is going with Arkansas. Number 6 BYU Cougars face number 11 Texas Longhorns, who won their first 4 game last night. BYU's got one of the best freshmen in the country at AJ DeBonsa. I think that the Fighting Mormons out of BYU win this game.
This is one where I've already rolled Cougs once. I can't do it again. Let's go with the upset. Sit down, young freshman. Give me Texas.
Gordo also has Texas, he said, because
Mm.
things are just bigger in Texas. So we've got our first big upset here for us on the podcast with Texas advancing. Now we go to number 3, Gonzaga and Kennesaw State. Gage, I don't know about you, but I'm going with Gonzaga because I know they're in Washington. Kennesaw, I've never even been to that state. So give me the Zags. What do you think, Gage?
Gonzaga is the team, like I said, that I pick every year to win it. So I'm going to go with them to move on.
Gordon says he thinks that John Stockton will have a really good game for Gonzaga in this one. He's also rolling with the Bulldogs. For the next 7-10 matchup we've got the Miami, Florida Hurricanes and the Missouri Tigers. Now, I would usually go SEC here and pick Missouri, but I think the Hurricanes are a pretty decent team here. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes in this one. They played
I'm
pretty
also
good in the college football playoff.
I'm also going to go with the Hurricanes. I can't wait to see Carson Beck out there do a dunk.
Yeah, Gordon also had Malachi Tony out here making plays in the basketball court too. He said if what's his name could do it in basketball to football for the Colts, Malachi Tony could do it for the Miami Hurricanes football team. So we all got Miami. The next matchup, the Purdue Boilermakers and Queens, not Queens, New York. It's Queens somewhere else. I'm going with Purdue because I only know where Queens is out of.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the people that make boils. Give me Purdue.
Yeah, Gordo also has Purdue in this one. So the last region we're going to head to here, the Midwest, Michigan and Howard. Once again, I will tell you what I think about this one here. You give me a guy named Howard against a group of players from Michigan. I'm taking the group of players from Michigan. Sorry. Better luck next year, Howard. I don't know what your first or last name is, but I've got the Wolverines in this one.
Well, obviously, first name Howard, last name's probably Stern. And I can never count out Howard Stern for anything, but I can in this one. Give me Michigan.
Yeah, Gordo also has, well, he says Michigan because he can't say the first letter of that. So he hated to pick him, but he picks him here. The next matchup we've got the 8-9 matchup, the Georgia Bulldogs and the St. Louis Billikens. St. Louis has the guy named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Have you seen this guy? Larry Blurd. Have you seen this guy? College Joker. He plays for St. Louis. Look him up. Robbie Avila, really good player. I think that they get the win over Georgia in this one. Give me Larry Blurd.
I'm going to say go, 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 dogs. Give me Georgia in this one.
Gordo also has Georgia because Carson Beck also played their football at one point in time. So we're going Georgia in this one. The next matchup, 5-12, Texas Tech and Akron, the Zips. Gage, I'm going to have to go with Texas Tech on this one. I think that they're just the better team. I think they got a better coach. Akron really hasn't played a whole lot this year. Give me the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Texas Tech, the home of Patrick Mahomes. Can't count him out. Give me the Tech.
Yeah, Gordon says Mahomes, all he does is win, and they're going to do it again. So that's what he's got here. Number 4, Alabama. Number 13, Hofstra, the Pride, and the Tide. Gage, Alabama's second leading scorer, Aiden Holloway, is no longer with the team after being arrested Monday for having 2.1 pounds of marijuana on him. He's arrested. He's off the team. He's the second leading scorer. I think that hurts Alabama, but I don't think it hurts them in this one. Give me the Tide to roll on up and go to the next round. Gage, what do you think?
Now, I don't smoke or anything like that, but I know that's a lot of marijuana. And the other thing I do know is Alabama's going to smoke Hofstra. Give me the Tide.
And Gordo also says roll Tide, roll them up, and go on to the next round. The next matchup we've got the number 6 Tennessee Volunteers facing either Miami of Ohio or Southern Methodist. Miami of Ohio went into their conference tournament without a loss and then lost to Massachusetts, snuck into the NCAA tournament, I think Tennessee blows them out if they play Miami, Ohio. Give me Tennessee.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee just because we don't know who they're playing. If it was Miami of Ohio, I might take them just because of Big Ben going there, but we don't know, so I'm gonna roll with Tennessee.
Gordo has the Southern Methodist University team because of the same reasons that he went with St. Mary's and Cal Baptist earlier in the podcast. The 3-14 matchup, the Virginia Cavaliers and the Wright State team. I'm going to go with the Virginia Cavaliers here. Give me Virginia. Give me Virginia.
Again, this comes another one where there is no state named after this. I don't know where Wright is located, so give me Virginia.
Wright is located in Dayton, Ohio. Gordon really likes that because he is a Buckeye himself, but he's going to have to roll with Virginia here. He can't go with it.
Wow.
The 7-10 matchup, the Kentucky Wildcats faces the Santa Claus Broncos. Sorry, Santa Clara Broncos. Of course, I'm going Kentucky here. They've been up and down all season long, but overall, they played a lot better competition than what Santa Clara is. I've got Kentucky moving on to the next round.
Yeah, I've also got the Cats winning this one.
And Gordo also is picking Kentucky out of solidarity for his podcast brethren. Appreciate it. The next matchup, number 2, Iowa State Cyclones and the number 15, Tennessee State Panthers. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm going to go with Iowa State in this one. They're number 2, and they're a really good team.
At least both of these teams have a state actually named after them, so the names make sense. We're just going to roll with the higher seed here. Give me Iowa State.
And then we go on to the second round here. Duke and TCU. I've got Duke in this one advancing.
I also got Duke.
Gordon also is going to go with Duke. St. John's and Kansas. I've got the Johnnies pulling off the minor upset here against Kansas.
I got Kansas winning this one.
And Gordo has St. John's for reasons that we've talked about already. John's wins it. Now we go to USF and Michigan State, South Florida and Michigan State. I think Michigan State Sparty heads on to the Sweet 16.
I am also going to roll with the Spartans here. Michigan State.
Gordon goes with them too because Big Ten. The Central Florida Knights, I think.
Sure.
Face the Yukon Huskies. I've got Connecticut advancing here to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with UConn. We can't even think of the UCF mascot.
Gordon also is going to roll with UConn. UCF did win a national championship in football in 2017. I mean,
Nice.
they claimed a national championship. Alabama actually won it, but they went undefeated and they claimed one. So Florida, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I've got the Gators advancing here. They're a really good team. I think that there's going to be too much for Iowa. Give me the Gators.
Yeah, I'm also going to roll with the Gators in this one.
Gordon says chomp chomp because Urban Meyer coached there once. He's going with the Gators. Vandy and Nebraska. I think Vandy is going to pick up the win here and have a semifinal rematch here with Florida. Give me Vandy.
I've also picked Vandy to move on to go against Florida in the next round.
Gordo had Nebraska because of Big Ten. Doesn't matter. We went Vandy. We outvoted him.
Sorry about it. You should be here.
Yeah, you should have been here. UNC and Illinois in the next round. I think, like I said earlier, if UNC had everybody healthy, I think that they would advance. But I think this is where Unk goes to bed. Illinois advances.
Yeah, night. Let's go with Illinois.
And Gordon's going Illinois too because Big Ten. Next matchup, St. Mary's and Houston. Gordon picks St. Mary's because
not surprising.
We already know. But I'm going with the Cougars on this one. Houston's a really good defensive team here, and I think they're going to be too much for St. Mary's to handle.
I'm also going to go with Houston. Again, we say roll Cougs.
The next matchup, we've got Arizona and Utah State. Gordon picks an upset here. He picks Utah State because of Jordan Love. I myself am picking the Wildcats because they're just a juggernaut.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Arizona in this one. I don't see them losing.
Wisconsin and Arkansas in the next matchup. I think this one here should be a really good matchup, but Arkansas is who I've got advancing here, Coach Calipari.
I've got Wisconsin advancing in this one. TJ Watt, proven winner. They can do it.
Gordo has Russell Wilson and the Wisconsin Badgers as well. Big Ten, once again, is what he says. So we go to the next matchup. Texas, the number 11 seed we have, advancing to face the Bulldogs of Gonzaga. I'm going to go Bulldogs here. I think that they are the better team, of course. Texas has had a down year. Gonzaga's just pretty consistent, especially in these early rounds of the tournament. Give me the Bulldogs.
Give me the Bulldogs as well.
Gordon also said that too. He's going Bulldogs
crazy.
as well. So that's crazy how that works. It says it right there in the message. Miami Hurricanes and the Purdue Boilermakers. I think Miami could pull this out, but I'm going to go with the Purdue Boilermakers in this one. I don't think Purdue's as good as what everybody's saying right now, but give me Purdue in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Miami could pull it out, but I'm also gonna roll with Purdue.
Gordo also has Purdue winning Big Ten. Michigan and Georgia in the next matchup. I've got
Ooh.
Michigan advancing here. They're just a whole lot better than what Georgia is. Gordo also has Michigan.
I think this is actually gonna be a really good game, but I'm also gonna go with Michigan.
Texas Tech and Alabama in the next round. Alabama's they're getting stopped here. They're getting pulled over, and they're going to spend the rest of the tournament watching from the sideline bars. Give me Texas Tech to advance.
I'm also gonna go with Texas Tech to advance. Being without their best player for who knows how long, he's probably not gonna play at all in this tournament. So give me Texas Tech.
Yeah, he may be actually, in prison by the time this game comes out. Gordo also is going to roll with the Red Raiders in this one because Patrick Mahomes, he said, is one of the best of all time. The next matchup, we got Tennessee and Virginia. This matchup should be pretty good. I think Tennessee's kind of underseeded in this tournament. I like Tennessee to pull off the win. Don't clip that part at all. I hate Tennessee, but I like Tennessee to pull off an upset here in the tournament. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go in and just make a short of you just saying that and post it right to YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else. So that I'm gonna go with Virginia in this one because I never want to say those words.
Well, good thing because Gordo also says he's going with Virginia over Tennessee. So I'm glad you guys kept them out there for me. So Virginia advances in our bracket. Now we go to the last matchup of the second round. Kentucky and the Iowa State Cyclones. So I want to pick Kentucky here so bad, but I'm going to do the smart thing. Give me the Cyclones here to advance. I just think that they're a really good team, and Kentucky just doesn't have it together this year.
Yeah, Kentucky got their one win. That's cool. That's fun. But Iowa State's taking them out.
Gordo also picking Iowa State because he says that they are not in the Big Ten, but they're in the Big 12, which is close to the Big Ten because they're neighbors up to the north there. Iowa is a part of the Big Ten, so he says that's close enough. Sorry, brother, that your Kentucky Wildcats bow out here. So, man, Gordon, okay, I appreciate it. That was nice as can be that you said that. Yeah. Next matchup, we go to the Sweet 16. Duke and the St. John's Johnnies. I've got Duke ending Rick Pitino's run here. Give me Duke to advance.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with Duke.
Gordo picks St. John's once again. Devout Catholic as he is, he picks the Johnnies. The next
Get it.
matchup we've got the Michigan State Spartans and the Yukon Huskies. I've got Yukon advancing here.
I've also got UConn going on to face Duke.
Gordo had Michigan State because Big Ten, but he's been outvoted. Florida and Vanderbilt in a rematch of the SEC semifinal. Vandy blew out Florida in the SEC semifinal, but I think Florida gets the revenge here. Florida moves on to the Elite Eight.
I actually think this is where we see a number one seed go down. Vanderbilt's going to do it again and move on to the Elite Eight.
Funny thing is, Gordo has Vandy advancing as well. Florida, our first number one seed, knocked out in the Sweet 16.
But something tells me we're not going to have a perfect bracket here or win no $1 million from Kalshi.
Number 3, Illinois. Number 2, Houston. I've got the Cougars advancing in this matchup.
This is where I think the Cougars' run ends. I'm going to go Illinois.
Gordo picks the Cougs to go on to the next round.
All right,
So
fair.
but it's weird because Illinois is a Big Ten team, so it's strange.
Yeah, he just
Uh,
he just must like Cougars.
Definitely, he must like Cougars. No doubt about that. Anyways, Arizona and Wisconsin in the next matchup. I've got Arizona advancing here.
I'm going to go with the number one seed as well. Let's go Arizona.
Gordo has Wisconsin going on because of Big Ten. Russell Wilson, once again, he says, gets it done, but not in our bracket.
He's got some weird reasons.
He's got some very weird reasons. The next matchup, Gonzaga and Purdue. This is tough, but I think that I'm going to roll with Purdue in this one. I think that they get the win. They're slightly seated above Gonzaga. Give me Purdue. They were number 1 overall to begin the season. Give me the Boilermakers.
Just because I want to do it again, let's go with the Bulldogs, Gonzaga over Purdue.
And Gordo has Purdue advancing as well. So the Gonzaga run ends at Sweet 16 according to our bracket. The final matchup of the Sweet 16, Michigan and Texas Tech. I think this is where the Red Raiders and Patrick Mahomes go down. Give me Michigan to advance to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I think Mahomes has just lost his offensive line in this one. I'm going to go with Michigan as well.
Yeah, no Mahomes magic here. Gordo also thinks that Michigan goes on. So he's come to his senses a little bit because Big Ten. The next matchup, we've got Virginia and Iowa State. Should be a good matchup here. I've got Iowa State winning this one.
I also have Iowa State winning this one.
Gordo picked Virginia because that's the closest state to where he lives, but he's outvoted. Now we go to the Elite Eight. Duke and UConn. This is where things can get pretty interesting. Gage, I think that UConn actually pulls off an upset here over Duke. What do you think?
I actually have the number 1 seed Duke continuing on, so I'm gonna roll with Duke.
Gordo also has Duke advancing to the Final Four in this one. So we've got Duke as our first Final Four team. Now let's see who joins them. Vanderbilt and Houston for a spot at the Final Four here. Gage, I'm going to go roll Cougs once again. I think that they make it to the Final Four here. What do you think?
As much as I would love for that to happen, I think Vandy pulls out the win here. I'm gonna go Vanderbilt.
Gordo is also going to go Houston because of the Cougar factor once again. Now we go over to the other bracket. We go to the Arizona Wildcats and the Purdue Boilermakers. I've got the Arizona Wildcats going on.
I also have the Wildcats.
And what I was going to say, Gordo has Purdue going on because of Big Ten, but at this point in time, it's Purdue. The next matchup we've got here, Michigan and Iowa State. I'm going to say the Cyclones advance this time, knocking out our second number 1 team.
I think the last Final Four team is the number 1 seed. Give me Michigan.
Gordo says he likes Michigan to make this Final Four. Cut that one too. Gordon likes Michigan to advance.
And he said it with the M.
He did. He said it with the M that time. The Final Four, we've got Duke and Houston on one end here. Gage, I know you're probably going to go Duke. I want to go Houston on this one. Gordo has also got Duke in this one. His Cougar run ends here.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Gordo turned a blind eye to the Cougars.
And then we've got Arizona and Michigan. I think Arizona wins this one.
Man, this is going to be a good one. I'm also going to roll with Arizona.
Gordo thinks that this is where Michigan falls off and lose like they do all the time. He says right here, they lose, always lose, keep losing. Michigan loses. So now we're down to the championship game, Duke and Arizona. Gage, my national championship pick out of this right here. I think that Arizona pulls it out and cuts down the nets on that Monday night.
Wow. I'm rolling with Duke in this one. They're my actual bracket winner. I got to take it for the podcast bracket as well.
Gordo has the Wildcats winning this one as well.
Wow.
So he actually had Purdue winning, but once they got knocked out, he had to improvise. And he was just like, you know what? Arizona, because it's the first letter of the alphabet. I'm going with the Wildcats. So Arizona is our pick for the national championship here on the podcast. We have picked all 63 games, and we've got the Arizona Wildcats. We're not a college basketball podcast, but we'll see how well our picks have gone, and we'll let y'all know how they go. Well, that's our picks, Gage. What did you think about our first year bracket pick here that we went with?
I think if we somehow get a perfect bracket, everyone that's listening that is not subscribed on YouTube should subscribe on YouTube. And if you're not following on Spotify, should also just drop a follow because apparently we're perfect.
Absolutely. 3,000 and some subscribers that we have now. Thank you for getting us to 3,000 subscribers. If we get a perfect bracket here, I mean, that should at least, double, right?
I'm thinking 10K at the minimum.
Yeah. Let's get 10K before the next football season starts. If we get a perfect bracket here, I know that's a little, but hey, we had 3K in 8 months, 9 months, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was insane.
Gage, you got anything else you want to talk about here? Like, is there any other sponsorship going on here on the podcast?
There might be one that I'm a fan of, one that I know you're a fan of. Dubby Energy. He's actually blending in. It looks like Connor Griffin actually likes Dubby right here. As you can see, if it wasn't, hey, there we go. It's right down the hatch of Connor Griffin. Clean energy. It's no chemicals, no additives, nothing dumb like that they got going on in all their flavors. And actually right now, until I believe it is this Sunday, for anyone who orders at w.gg using promo code YELLING, if you put in the order notes the words free gift, they're actually sending you a free gift added on to the purchase that you make. If you make a small order, they send you a small gift. If you make a huge order, they send you a huge gift. So head over to w.gg, use promo code YELLING, and use free gift in the order notes when you order. Save 10% off, get some free items. Why not? W, be better.
Sounds like a great deal right there. I mean, how could you go wrong? You get a free gift and you get some W products. Win-win in my book right there. Use that promo code YELLING. It's great. So while you're doing that, after you're done, going to Dubby, go to deutschfoods.com. Use our promo code Yellen. Save you $5 at checkout. Use the link that'll be in this description here, or just go to deutschfoods.com. It's scrolling across the bottom right here. And you could get cookie doughs. You can either eat them right out of the package or put them in the oven, and they are really good in the oven. I mean, they're good right out of the package, but once you bake them things, man, that's some pretty good cookies right there. They make a little batch there. You can get the basic batch. You could get the what the fudge brownie. You can also get chocolate chip, and then there's birthday cake. And I think
Mm.
they're about ready to come out with a few more flavors here pretty soon.
Ooh.
Check them out, deutschfoods.com. Use the promo code Yelling. Save you $5. Be Deutsch, be better. I know that's not the tagline there, but hey, it works for the other one. It's going to work for this one too.
Absolutely.
Gage, do you have anything else you would like to bring to the table before we hop on out of here?
I would like to say Sidney Crosby is officially back on the ice tonight for the Penguins, first time since the Olympic Games where he got injured, and he's already scored tonight. So no big deal. Crosby back. The Pens are back. They're going to the playoffs.
Nice. Now, next week when we come on this podcast, I mean, I've been hoping to do some conspiracy theories, but we're going to probably put that on hold for a little bit because we've got UFL season starting next Friday. We're
Mhm.
going to rip into it a little bit, and we're going to talk a little Major League Baseball season coming up next week. Gage, looking forward to getting into a couple more seasons here.
It's so weird how quick everything's going. Baseball's like just a week away. You got the XFL next Saturday. Actually, I think next Friday it starts.
Friday, the Kings.
Yeah. Yeah, Friday it starts. Saturday, majority of games are playing. Football season's back, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's already back, and baseball season is going to be in full swing. And we'll be here to bring it to you every week. I'm Brent Humphreys. He's Gage Berdovich. Gordon Chatterton is out on assignment. Maybe he's watching his Buckeyes. Maybe he's watching some Cougars somewhere. Maybe he's, at the cathedral. I don't know where he's at, but he should join us back next week to talk some baseball, some UFL preview here on Yelling from the Couch. We'll see you all next week.
Later.